Hey, Manny here. I am in downtown San Francisco, and I just wanted to give you a little peek into what my world looks like down here in the financial district and give you something a little bit more interesting to look at versus just like what's inside my office. It's been a very exciting week. I have some new clients signed on, and one of the questions that they had for me was, what do we do if one of us predeceases the other? And the primary concern wasn't about is there going to be enough money. That was certainly part of the conversation, but it was more just like logistical stuff. She goes, I'm really not involved in that kind of stuff, so I don't even know how to access certain accounts, which broker or which insurance people who are attorneys are for estate planning. And I thought that something that could be 100% useful for anyone, not just a young family, is to put together kind of like a financial matters household checklist. And in this checklist, I go through 15 items in your financial life that you should have organized in case of an event where maybe you are no longer able to make decisions for yourself, or someone else just needs to have this information as well. Of course, you want to take precautions to safeguard this information, make it password protected, but don't make it so protected that the person that needs to get it is unable to access it. I've been instructing my clients to just set up like a family Google Drive where it can live eternally and digitally, so it's shareable if it needs to be shared. So number one is essential information, and this is stuff like your full name, date of birth, your social security number, and then contact details of close family members or trusted advisors. Number two is immediate concerns. So you're going to want to have here just like what your basic wishes are for your funeral, your burial, if you want to have an end of life service, if you want to have something in the church, if you've already prepaid something. Some people like to prepay their funeral expenses so that their family members don't have to worry about that. If you've done that, make sure people know that and put this in your organizer. People also need to know about your life insurance policies and how to access them. You'll want to know the company name, policy numbers. Next, you're going to want to have information about how the surviving spouse or the person that is taking care of your financial matters can get access to cash quickly to administer things for you on your behalf. And that might be, where is the bank account? Is there a lockbox? And where are the keys? Do you already have access to those things? Number four is debt. So make a list of all of your outstanding debt, mortgages, personal loans, credit cards, car loans, etc. The people that are providing the loans, so the loan company, usually a bank, write down that name and then how to access them also. This might include getting all of your account numbers. Next is just like monthly bills. How will the person that is going to take over your financial life know how to take care of your monthly bills if they don't even know what they are? So make a list of all of your monthly bills and then tell them how they can access them. So I'm talking about things like utility bills, internet, cell phone, etc. Number five is assets. So property titles to like your home, to land, to your vehicles. Tell them the location of the titles, and typically what people will do is they'll safeguard or safekeep those items in like a personal safe at home or at the bank. So your instructions will tell people how to find them, but it's important that you include directions on how they can access them. I can't tell you how many times I've had family members go, I don't know where mom and dad kept the title. I don't know if there's another version of the trust anywhere. So that's part of this process, is just making sure the people that will need to know how to access that information. Continuing on with assets, so if you have like an investment portfolio, any brokerage firm accounts, so if you have like a Schwab, Fidelity, those types of accounts, make a list of all of them. Make a list, include the account number, and approximate balance is probably good enough. If you can include a statement, that makes life even easier for the person that takes over. Another part that is important are retirement accounts. So you're going to want to have a statement of your 401k, your IRAs, your pensions, and that information. Number 6 is tax matters. So have a copy of your previous tax return. You typically need those anyway to complete your current year taxes. So just make a habit now of putting that information in this shared folder. So previous tax returns, lists all of your sources of income. If you have rental income, if you have royalty income, if you have income from commissions, I'm not sure. But whatever it is that is providing you a constant source of income, make sure that you have that organized so the person that takes over knows to look out for that income and can alert someone when they've noticed that that income has stopped. You'll also want to include in your tax folder information about who you use to file your taxes, so their contact information, email address. Better yet, get to know your tax preparer and just introduce yourself. You don't have to dramatically increase your involvement in the preparation of your tax return, but just meet them at least once so they know who you are. So when you call in an emergency they know who you are and won't make you go through so much rigmarole to try to prove your identity. Number 7 is estate planning. Talked a little bit about this before, but just make sure that the location of any wills and any trust documents are known. You'll also want to include details for your personal representative or the executor of your estate. If you have a living will, for example, or a healthcare proxy, advanced healthcare directive, those are all part of estate planning, and those should be included too in this household organizer. Number 8 is insurance. So have a list of all your insurance providers, beginning with health insurance, where the insurance is coming from, any policy numbers, who is insured, and then typically for verification, they're going to need to know things like the birth date, social security number, etc. of the person who's actually insured if you're just like a beneficiary on that plan. Also, home and auto insurance, have those policy details and contact information for those insurance companies available as well. Number 9, include a list of your monthly and annual expenses. In this list, you're going to want to have things like your subscriptions, your memberships, magazines, online services, and any clubs that require like monthly dues, for example. Also, I talk a lot about creating a spending plan. Here's another reason why you should have a spending plan. It just makes it easier for the person taking over to know what needs to get paid for to keep things running. Number 10 is your digital footprint, and this one's like kind of a newer concept, but basically list all of your online accounts as well as you can, any emails that you use as your usernames, any email accounts, period, your social media, and any like cloud storage. Make sure that the usernames and passwords are stored securely, but that person who needs to take over has a way to access those usernames and passwords. And then digital assets. So we live in the world of cryptocurrency. So if you've got like a cryptocurrency wallet, if there's any websites or blog that this person belongs to that involve any digital assets, this is maybe the place where you could organize that information. Number 11 is legal and professional contacts. Make a list of all of the attorneys that this person needs to know about, financial planner that this person needs to know about, insurance agent, accountant, or tax preparer. Number 12 is other important documents. So things like your birth certificate, your marriage certificate, passport, social security cards. Make sure the person that is going to take over your financial life knows where they can find those items. Number 13 is personal instructions. So, this one's really good because I feel like a lot of people get into family squabbles when it comes to talking about like heirlooms. And so make sure there is a process, or make sure there is like a written document that says, here is how I would like you to handle my personal assets. So things like heirlooms or jewelry or other kind of like special collections, like those things, make a letter that kind of describes where all of those things are supposed to go. That way you don't have siblings that are like fighting with each other because mom said that I was promised this thing and now you're taking it and that's not what was agreed upon. Like, just create the most organized scenario as possible so as to maintain family unity. All right, let's see. Also, if you have like any personal letters or messages like you'd like to leave behind, this is where you can put that information. Number 14 is regular maintenance. And so keeping up your financial household is a job and it requires maintenance, and knowing how to pay is really important. Also knowing like when renewal dates for insurance policies are up, that kind of stuff is also really helpful. Also like maintenance of things around the home. If you have an air conditioning system, for example, and that gets maintained once a year, provide instructions on who you go to have that done, how often they do it, what they typically charge. That kind of thing makes it really helpful. It might seem super mundane and like, oh, well, I could figure that out when I need to. You could figure it out, but someone already has. The person living with you or has already figured that out. So go with that information. You have already got so much on your plate. So we're at the end of the list, and it's just kind of miscellaneous at this point, but kind of a hodgepodge category. But basically, like, have the location of any spare keys known, contact information for like your handyman, gardener, housekeeper, like all of those things, like just the regular service providers. That kind of contact information is really useful to put in this category. And then you'll also want to include a list of any items that you have lent out or that you've borrowed in this category. Some final thoughts. Basically, your financial life is constantly evolving, and some of this information will need to be updated. So maybe make it a point to, at one point in the year, to refresh this information. Store this guide somewhere that's secure. Inform your spouse or your trusted person where they can find it. Ideally, what this does is it provides the person you've entrusted to take care of these matters for you in the event that you can't, some peace of mind. Some peace of mind to know that they know how to accomplish the things that you want them to accomplish. So with that, if you liked anything I talked about today, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and then hit that notifications button. That'll let you know when I put out a new video just like this. If you have something that I did not put on my list, I want you to put it in the comment section below. And all of this kind of dovetails really well with estate planning, which we'll talk about in another video. But until then, I wish you financial wellness in all things, today and every day. I will talk to you later. Bye.